Well, good afternoon everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Gonna do a little AC drain line mod today. You know, I was doing a little research on the web and I came across the drain line for the air conditioning unit in the Tacoma, and apparently it's just this little stubby line, if you will, that drips all over the frame when the condenser on the air conditioner is condensing. So I thought, you know, I'm going to put an extension on that. I'm going to put an extension hose on it because if you're aware, in the past, Toyota's had a lot of problems with frame rust in the past. And I can't believe that dripping water constantly on your frame is a good thing. So this is a pretty simple mod, a little tight to get to, I would think. We're going to find out. But not much money either. So we're going to take a look here and get this done. Okay, we're out here, got the truck lifted up a little bit, and I will say these kind of things are much easier if you have a lift, but this can certainly be done on the ground as well because it's easily accessible once you turn the tire all the way to the left. This is on the passenger side, by the way. And first I'll show you what I got and what tools you need to do this. And what I have here, and I bought two different sizes of tubing. I would have preferred black, obviously, but they didn't have any black, so I got just a clear water tubing because this should be fine. However, again, I would get black if you have the option. And I'll only use one of these, and I won't even use all of what's here. So tools-wise, you need a little hose clamp to clamp this onto the tubing that's in the truck. I've got a little Sakaguchi to tighten the hose clamp with. You can certainly use a screwdriver if you don't have a little one like this, or if a big one won't fit. We'll find out. And then something to cut the tubing with to size once you get it in and fed through where you want it to be. And then just a couple of tools to get this little cover that we have to take off in the wheel well. And I'll show you that, and it's very, very simple. So what we've got here, again, I've got the tire turned all the way to the left. This is on the passenger side. And what you have to do is just, to gain access to this, remove this cover. And it's very simple to do, and I've already popped these pins, but I just used a trim tool. Just put it under there and gently pry them up. They come up very easily. And like I said, I've already done all of them, except for this one. We'll see if it's still in, and it is. So we have to pop this one off, and if you're really lucky, it'll even stay in this mat that covers it, and you won't even have to mess with keeping track of them. That one wanted to come through a little bit. Like so. And like I said, I already took the other ones off, so just a little trim tool. And I also used on this one up here in the corner, it was a little more difficult, so I pried it out a little bit, stuck this underneath on the outside of the mat, and just wiggled it back and forth, and it came right out. So no big deal. Set this aside, or kind of wedge it back in here somewhere, or I'll tie it down if it won't behave. But the hose that you're looking for, and let's see if I can get even some more light in here for you guys, is right there. This hose right here. This is the drain hose for the air conditioner, right there. So that's what we want to put our pipe over. And then you do have to be careful. Right beside it here, below this heat shield, is part of the exhaust. So you don't want your hose, once you get this all set, to be leaning against that. But we'll tackle that in a minute. We're going to feed it through and probably come out somewhere down here below the frame. Now, what I had talked about before in it dripping, if you notice where it is right here, it drips straight down here on the frame. Now, I don't see, and it'll be better on video once I read it, or rather watch it back, but I don't see any evidence of anything there now on mine, but the truck is pretty new. You could imagine after years of water dripping from here onto the frame right here that you might have some trouble down the road. So we're going to fit our hose over that. That's going to be the hardest part of the whole mod. And then kind of wire tie it as we go, and I'll lift the truck up a bit to do that, just to make it easier on myself. But let me set you guys up so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll carry on. Okay, did a little bit of finagling around, and for the tubing, I'm going to use a 3/4 inch OD by 5/8 inch ID. that fits the best out of the two sizes I have. So we'll show you here. I want to do a little test fit before we carry on, obviously. Again, you're working in some tight spaces in here. And you do want a snug fit. There you go. Oop. Oh, I thought. There, you guys can see it fits over the existing pipe quite nicely, actually. And then I'll put the hose clamp there up above. But before I do that, I'm going to feed it through from underneath because I want to make sure that I have a good path, and it's much easier to feed it below and up through than have to finagle this long piece of tubing once I have it connected. So we're going to raise the truck up a little bit and feed it up from underneath, and then we'll continue on. Okay, I've got the tubing kind of just run down through a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll leave it where I have it, but it's time to connect this up and put this clamp on there. So we're gonna see if I can't get under here a little bit better, and see about putting this on. Okay, here we go. It fit on there, yeah, rather nicely before. And actually, having the camera on my phone here lets me see how the connection looks. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's easy to see here. And I already have the clamp on, of course. Getting to it to tighten it might be kind of interesting. I was going to use my wrench, and I think I still can, but you guys can see I've got the clamp on there and I've got the hose on. And one good thing about seeing or having clear hose is you can see if it gets clogged, I guess. So there's a positive. All right, I think I've got it on about as far as I need it to be. So let's go ahead and get this clamp positioned. And I don't want to crush it. I just want to make sure it stays on. So I'm not going to tighten this down like it's, you know, my life depends on it, but I am going to tighten it a bit. So let's see if I can get my tool in here. Easier said than done, right? About right like that, and actually a screwdriver might work a little better, so let's try that. Wrench is easier, but the screwdriver gives me a better angle, I think. Again, I'm not looking to kill it, I just want to snug it up good so my hose won't come off. That would kind of defeat the purpose. See how that looks on camera. Still looks pretty good. And I think we're starting to get a good snug fit. I'll go a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's probably about enough. Yeah. You know, I really like to tighten things down like it's the end of the world, so for me to leave something that's maybe not quite as tight as I'd like is never good. But I can't really hold it any better than that, and I think we're there anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it starting to deform my pipe a little bit, so I think that's pretty good. So now we need to go underneath and finish up as to how I'm going to run this thing and tie it down to keep it away from that exhaust pipe and all that good stuff. So we'll meet you guys underneath. All right, you guys can see, I think, up there to the top where the clamp is, right up here. You guys can see right up there, hopefully. I think I can see my hand moving around. Yeah, the clamp's right up there. So we're running straight down right now, and there happens to be this little loop right here that I could tie down right there. That would hold it pretty good, I think. And then we have to deal with here. I could just bring it down here, and I don't want to kink the tubing. Unfortunately, this tubing's not very thick walled, so it kinks rather easily. But I could run it straight down through here and just zip tie it right here somehow, maybe. Or even run it through here. You guys maybe can see there's a hole here. I don't know if it's light enough for you, but there's a hole here up above that I think I could run it down through as well, and then have it hang down right here, and then maybe zip tie through this hole or something over here to be able to keep it away from all the metal bits and out of the way of any, you know, heat shields or any of that kind of stuff too, because obviously we don't want it resting up against a heat shield or anything, or anything hot. And right here is the exhaust, so we got to stay away from that. So we'll see. I might bring it back a little further and just drop it back here somewhere too. So let me take a few more looks at that, and then once I figure out exactly where I'm going to run it through down here, now that we have it all connected up there, I'll come back on. Okay, I've got it run how I want it to run now. So let's see if we can see from this side. And I know it's kind of dark, but hopefully it brightens up a bit. There's a bracket right here. I'm going to zip tie it to the bracket. Of course, it goes on up and feeds from the air conditioning tube up there, further up in the top. But I'm going to zip tie it here, and I'm going to zip tie it on this bracket, and then it runs down here on the other side, which is right in here, through a hole in this, I don't know what this is, frame. I guess it's just part of the frame, right here, through that hole, and then out down here through the bottom. And there's even a nice little niche right here for it to sit in. You guys can see that little niche. Fits perfectly in there. It won't stay there, but it'll probably just hang. I'll cut it off about here somewhere, maybe just so it's in here, so it's beyond the frame itself, and the water will just drip on the ground then instead of up there on the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all zip tied up, and then we'll come back and take one final look, and we'll turn the truck on, turn the air conditioning on, and see if it actually drips out of my hose. So up here, you guys can see that's where it comes out of the air conditioning drain and runs down, and it stays away from that exhaust pipe there. You can see the heat shield and then the pipe right there, and runs down. It is zip tied to a bracket right there, and we're going to go underneath now, and I'll show you where it continues on through there. Alright, we're back underneath, and you can see up there where it comes out of the air conditioning line, right up there in between my pipe or my hose and the black part of the frame, or the bump stop maybe, I'm not sure. Whatever that is up above me, I can't see it from here. But it runs on down from there, and you'll see I have it zip tied right there on that little bracket, so keeps it away from the heat shield, and then comes down right to here where it is again zip tied to this little bracket that comes off of the let's see, the motor, I guess, or maybe the part of the transmission. I can't see again, I'm under here, and then from there it runs down through the frame and exits right here, down below everything. So it should just be able to drip right on the ground. Take a look at it from the other side. Again, you guys can see where it comes down. There's the clip up there, the hose clamp rather, and then zip tied onto that bracket, and then zip tied on again right in here, and then through the frame. Conveniently, there's a hole in the frame, and stops right here where it can drip. So I'm going to take it down off the lift. We're going to fire it up and see if any water drips out of there. It's certainly hot enough here. It's probably, Let's see, I'd say it's about 80 degrees here right now, so certainly we should get some condensation. Humid too. Okay, we are just got back from the trip actually, had the air conditioner running, and I'm laying on the floor, as you can see. Unfortunately, it looks like all the condensation dripped out before I could get here with the camera, but you guys can see here a little bit. There is a little bit of water in the line there, and here on the floor is what has dripped since I just pulled in. So it is indeed functioning properly, and it does indeed drain down here right on the floor instead of on the frame. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here, show you guys that it does indeed work. Nice little puddle under the truck. Much better than, like I said, being on the frame. Anything to prevent rust. I realize when I'm in the rain it's going to get wet, but it's not going to be a continuous process. You know, it's going to get wet and then it's going to dry. So anything to help prevent it a little bit. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, show you guys that quick little air conditioning drain line mod. I think it's pretty cool. I like it, and it's very simple to do. Cost me less than, wow, I'd say less than $8. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't before. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day. Bye.